Good morning, everybody. It's very nice to have you with me today. We're going to be doing a recovery routine. I would like you to have, if you can, a band, a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball, and a foam roller. So before we begin, we're going to begin with like a little bit of a warm-up, so that way we can get our muscles nice and warm before we go ahead and stretch them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you sideways, so you have a better angle of the shape we're going to go through. Okay, so first of all, we're going to start in our tabletop position, and we're just going to find cat-cow. But I really want to focus on taking a full in-breath and a full out-breath. And imagine when you're taking that in-breath that you're filling up on all sides equally like a cylinder. So let's start. We'll take a breath in. And just take a breath out. Breathe everything out. You should feel your core engage. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. If you're very advanced, when you take that breath in, you'll feel everything expand, including your pelvic floor. That's the part of your body, the muscle that when you go number 2, you feel that open up. So try taking a breath in and breathe everything out. Lovely. Now we're going to coordinate it with a little bit of a cat-cow. So take a breath in. Curl your way in. And breath out. Breath in. And out. Breath in. And out. Very good. Find your way into downward dog. Really, I want you to think about an opposing line. So your hands are going to be pulling that direction, and your feet are going to be pulling that direction. So we're going in 2 opposite ways, so we can get a nice stretch in our spine. 3 breaths here. Very good. Find yourself into plank. Spread your feet out really far apart. You're going to take a breath in, and your right arm's going to touch your left shoulder. So take a breath in. And I'll show you this way. Take a breath in. Left arm touches right shoulder. Really focus on, we're not doing this, really focusing on pushing our hands into the ground, taking a breath in. Right arm comes to left shoulder, and likewise the other way. One more time. Lovely. Back into our downward dog. Find your opposing line. Hands going one direction, heels going the other direction. Think about elongating that spine, turning the femurs in so feet are staying parallel, they're not out. Feet are staying parallel, spin those femurs in. Lovely. Good job. Okay, now you're going to take your foam roller, and we're going to start with our calf. We're just going to get on the inside of the calf. Do 10 of those. 3, 4. Middle of the calf maybe. 5. And then the outside of your calf. If you feel a spot where you're like, ooh, that feels good, just stay there. That's the spot you're meant to get. Ooh, lovely. One more outside of the foot. For me, just a little bit more time there. Ooh, yeah. Perfect. And let's switch. Center of the calf. and the outside. Oof. Lovely. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take it to our hamstrings, the back of our leg. See if you can do a couple here. I personally don't really feel this one. So what I do instead is I take this lacrosse ball and I put it on top of my foam roller, and then I try and find, oh, there it is, the spot. For me, that's the tightest. Just aim for that tight spot. You can do the medial hamstring, the lateral hamstring, but for me, personally, that outside of the hamstring gets really tight on my left side. So that's what I aim for. We'll do 10 of those. Move it to where you feel comfortable, or uncomfortable, I should say. Ooh, lovely. Now, if you want, you can hold it there for a few seconds as opposed to moving it, and see if you can get any release from that hamstring. And switch. If foam rolling is good for you, then just continue foam rolling. That's fantastic as well. Lovely. Now we're going to flip it onto our bellies, and we're going to do our quads. You got your left leg here. See if you can go up and down that quad. Really try and find that money spot. Once you found it, spend some time there, maybe for like 5 seconds. Good job. Really don't forget about the inside of the quad. That VMO can get really tight. And now we're going to go to the outside of the quad. I'm going to switch so I can face you guys. This is your IT band. This one is uncomfortable for almost everybody. You really just want to see if you can find your money spot. And once you found it, oh, there's mine. You're just going to spend a few more seconds on it. Very good. Very, very good. And let's switch other quad. Find that money spot. Once you found it, oop, mine's on the outside on this leg. Just gonna spend some time there. Ooh, 9. Nice. Okay, let's find that outside of the quad now. Find that IT bed. Oh, yeah, this one is very tight for me. Oof. Last one. Ooh. Wow. Oh. One more second. This one feels very good. Oh, yes. Very good. Lovely. Now, we've gotten our calves, our hamstrings, our quad. This is a really important muscle. You have a shin bone right here, and then you have another muscle right here. So what you're gonna do is take your tennis ball. If you don't have your tennis ball, you can use your thumb. And I just want you to dig in to this muscle on the, if it's your right shin, it's on the right side. Left shin, it's on the left side. You're just gonna dig into that muscle real quick because it needs it. It really needs it. And if you're strong enough and you have your tennis ball, you can put this ball down and put some weight on it and really drive in there. I know for me this is super important. Just do 10. You can even count it out loud. 2, 3, 4. This is to prevent your shin splints. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. Let's switch to go the other way. I'll show you on the right side. Beautiful. Beautiful. Good work. So, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our butt. So for this one, you're going to put the foam roll underneath you. We're going to start with our left butt. This one is probably the most painful of all the ones that we're going to do. So what I want you to do is you're going to take your right leg, put it over your left, then you're going to lean onto that left butt. And you're going to see where you can find, if this is too much pressure, you can put this weight down. Just want to see if you can find your money spot. Nice. Once you found your money spot, you're going to take that left foot and put it on your right. Now you should feel a little bit more tension in that butt. Now we've got your glute in a slightly tensed position, which makes it activate differently, and you're just going to sit in that spot. If it's, you're feeling it but you're not really feeling it, I'm really feeling it right now. But if you're not really feeling it, you can take this away. Now that you found your money spot, you take your tennis ball or the cross ball, and now you can try and going in that money spot with that leg crossed over. Woo! That's very intense for me. I'm just gonna sit there. You're welcome to roll. You're welcome to sit there. Do what feels good for you. I'm gonna sit because I really feel it in that spot. You shouldn't feel any tingling or any pinching. I do feel a little bit of pressure running down my leg, but for me it's good feeling. But you shouldn't feel any pain. No pain. I'm gonna lay down on it now. You can too if you'd like. Ooh, but the main point is do what's right for you. Do what feels like can help your muscle groups. Each person's a little different, or very different actually. Oh, good job. Let's switch. I'm gonna find my spot first with my foam roller. Oh, there it is, right there. So now I'm going to take my lacrosse ball, put it on my money spot. Take my right leg, put it over my left, makes it a little bit more intense, and it exposes the butt in a different way, and there it is. All right, I'm going to do 5 breaths here. Oof. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my gosh. That, I really feel that one. And when you really feel it like that, that's a cue that you need to spend some more time on it. So let's do 2 more for me. If you have another spot that you feels like your money spot, spend a couple more seconds on it. Oh, good job. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna feel your hip bone. There's your bones right here, and right underneath it is your TFL. For most of us, this is what takes a lot of the brunt force when we work out. So I want you to find your lacrosse ball and see if you can put it right underneath that spot. You can see my lacrosse ball here, and you're just gonna sit and you roll back and forth on that TFL. It'll feel like almost like a tendon, but oof, it's just a place that needs attention. So I'm gonna do 10, 2, 3. You can move up and down slightly, just avoid your bone. 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Let's switch to the other side. Find that bone, and then right under the bone is that little space. Oof. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This one's tighter for me. If you're planting with your left leg a lot, that's going to be the tighter one for you, probably, just because you actually are putting more force on it more often. And it's really, really good for your outer hip. Oh. Good work. Okay, we're done with the foam for now. I want you to see if you can grab your band. And what you're gonna do first is you're gonna put it around your foot, and we're gonna start with our hamstrings. So what you're gonna do is, as comfortably as you can, I want you, before we reach up, really find length. So point your toe that direction. Think about elongating your leg as you lift it up so we can really get as far as possible. Beautiful. You're gonna take this leg, and as opposed to it spinning out, I really want you to focus on it spinning in so my foot is facing straight up. Good. Then you're gonna take your band, you're gonna relax your head, and you see if you can do your hamstring stretch. Now I really want you to focus this hip bone sinking into the ground. Really almost push this hip bone into the ground. That's gonna help you get deeper into that hamstring. Now once you're in this position, you're gonna do 5 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold it there. Very good. Let's take it to the across our body. Really drive that hip into the ground. Good. You're gonna feel that on your outer hamstring. This for me is for all of my hamstrings. My left outer one is the tightest. We're gonna do 5 more pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good job. Holding it here. Woo! Oh yes, I feel that very tight in my left hamstring. Now you're gonna put it back, and this time you're gonna bring it down. Really think about keeping your right hip on the ground, extending through this foot, and allowing the left leg to drop. Next, what I want you to do is bring this leg back up to that vertical position. 5 more pumps. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good job. Bring knee to chest. You're gonna just grab your knee and bring it into your chest. We're gonna hold here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good job. And gently take your band and switch. Use your hands to lift it up. Remember, reach first as much as you can, elongating that hip, elongating your spine. Head is gonna go that direction. Find elongation and then bring it forward. Beautiful. Point this toe, spin the femur as opposed to out, spin it in. So that toe is facing the sky. That's gonna be really difficult if you have a tight hip flexor rather. And we're gonna go straight up to the sky, and we're gonna do our 5 pumps. Ready? 5 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. Hold here for 3 breaths. Good. Good, and take it across your body. If there's a movement, an extra movement, remember to drive this hip into the ground. If there's an extra movement that you would like, please add it in. Maybe you like to wiggle your toes or turn your femur in and out. You'll just get different types of stretches. Go ahead and experiment so you can find what's best for you. 5 breaths here. Untense your muscles if you can. Really try and relax them. Hip drives into the ground. Good. 5 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good job. And now we're going to let it fall to the outside. 3 breaths here. And 5 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And bring it back up. Very good work. Very, very good work. Oof. That should feel very good on your hamstrings there. Okay, now we've got 2 more, then we're done, everybody. So I know you're excited. We're gonna take it around our left leg. Actually, this way I can face you. I'm gonna take it around my right leg. You can do the same. You're gonna go on your left hip. You're gonna take this band around your left shoulder, and we're gonna start to stretch our quad. Now what I wanna try and do is, as opposed to our foot going in or our foot coming out, I really wanna try and keep it parallel. The foam roller could be a good cue for you to put it between your legs, and then as much as you feel comfortable, you're gonna pull that band around that left shoulder and begin to get this quad stretch. Now really it's important for me, what's probably happening to most of you is your back is arching to compensate. So if that's true, release the band, tuck a little bit, so go from this arch to a tuck, and now pull, keeping the core engaged so you feel even a better stretch in that quad. Good job. I'm gonna hold this for 3 breaths. Now you're gonna kick this foot into the band for 3 times. 1, activate the core, do it on the out breath. Take a breath in, take a breath out. 1, out breath. 2, last one. 3, good kicks. Now see if we can stretch it a little bit farther, a little bit more comfortably. Ooh-wee. Let's hold here for 5 breaths. Lovely, good work. You're gonna gently release. You're gonna keep it on that right leg. We're gonna go into a kneeling position. So left leg comes up, right leg is going to be knee on the ground, and you're gonna take this band over your right shoulder. And now what you're gonna try and do, as opposed to a quad stretch, we want a hip flexor stretch, which is the one right underneath your hip bone. You're gonna toe your way out with your front foot, and if you feel comfortable, you can put a hand down, or if you have your foam roller, you can put it on your foam roller. But the main focus here is, instead of the quad now, we're focusing on this muscle right underneath the hip bone. So relax this foot. We're not bringing this foot to my heel to my butt. We're letting it relax, and we're getting this hip flexor. We're gonna hold this for 10 breaths, which is one of the longest ones. This muscle gets really tight from sitting in our chairs, and whenever we're nervous or stressed, we tend to tuck and shorten this particular hip flexor. Okay, ready? 10 breaths. That should feel really good. That's 10 breaths. We're gonna do 2 breaths for fun, for extra. Good job. Gently bring it to the ground. Lovely. Find your way back to your butt. Put it around your left quad this time. I'm gonna switch direction so I can still face you. We're gonna take it around our right shoulder this time, our left leg. And really see if, as opposed to going in or out, see if we can make it parallel. You can put a block here or your foam roll there to make sure it's pretty even with this hip. This should be a nice straight line. Lovely. Remember, if we're arching our back, take a breath in, breathe everything out. Find neutral spine. It will feel like a tuck. You're going to activate that core and you're going to feel this quad. Good job. You can put your arm down so you can get yourself into a stretch. You're going to take a breath in, take a breath out. We're going to push against the band for 3 times. Take a breath in first. Take a breath out. Push and relax. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Push. Last one. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Push and good job. We're going to hold this for 5 breaths. Lovely work. Gently release. We're going to go into our kneeling position. Right leg this time in front. Left shoulder, left band. Find your balance. Good. Now remember, let this back heel relax. Really lean into this front knee. Make sure the shin, it can go a little bit over. That's okay. But just make sure it's not going in or out. That's not good for your knee. You want to keep a nice, strong, straight line here. And then you can heel toe your way out if you want to. And then you're going to lean into, you're going to lean into that hip flexor. And like I said, we're going to do 10 breaths here. Let's real quick do the isometric press. So take a breath in, take a breath out, push, 3, and again, take a breath in, take a breath out, push, 3, 2, 1, last one, take a breath in, take a breath out, 3, 2, 1, good job. And sit in this for 10 breaths. I'll do it with you. Lovely. Gently release. Find your way to your butt. And that's it. That is our recovery workout with the band and the foam roller. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.